Hi, my name is Jonathan Hicks, and this evening I'm joined by
Mark.
Steve, and we just finished playing Paris, which is by Wolfgang, Kramer, and Michael Kiesling, who have done a lot of games together, and they tend to be sort of medium weight, would you say, games. And this one, as you can see, this is the Arc de Triomphe here, is set in Paris, and you are trying to acquire points. It's a Euro. And a bunch of different things are going to happen, and the game kind of gradually escalates. Now, at the start, you can see there are tiles all over the board here, but at the start of the game, these are all face down separately off the board. And on your turn, you take, there's like several stacks of them. You can see there's tons of tiles that have been put out here. So you'd pick up one of these tiles, and depending on where it is, you can see this is the La Villette region, which will be around the edge of the board somewhere. Here it is, La Villette. So this region here is where this tile has to go, and because it's the number 3, you put it on the number 3 spot. So gradually you can see all these different tiles are appearing on the board. And when you put a tile out, the next thing you do is you put a key out. You can see there are keys on lots of regions. You're kind of buying the region. So you look behind you, the screen. The screen's quite nice. You can see it kind of represents some sort of building. So you take a key and you put it into a region. Now you can actually put it anywhere you like, and where you put it gives you money typically. So if you put it here, you get 7 money. You can see there are a lot of keys here because money's quite tight in this game. But for example, if I wanted to put it here, I would then get 2 money from the bank. On a subsequent turn, after I've put one of these tiles out, you can then start to advance the keys onto the tiles. So I could go here, and I'd have to pay 1 coin to the bank to go here. On a subsequent turn, I could then advance to here, and I'd have to pay the difference, so that would be 2 coins. But when you land on these, typically at the start of the game, there's lots of these tokens. You can see there's a whole pile that we've used over here. There's like resources, you kind of gold, stone, wood, as well as these little star things. And you take whatever you land on, put it behind your screen. You can see I've got resources and things. You can jump much higher, though. If you want to go high, you can go as high as you like. But you can never go down. So you're basically trying to increase the value of your holding, essentially, in this region. And it's like an area control game. You can see in this region here, these are the points you're going to get for first, second and third place, and people are adding up the values of their holdings in this region. Interestingly, these don't start off on the board. You see this one never actually got placed. Once the 4th key goes in a building in a region, you get to pick from the available scoring things and decide where it goes. So because I was the only one that had them in this region, no one put any in here, and I couldn't get any in here. So that's quite an interesting decision, how you know, whether or not you try and fight to get the 4th key to put out so that you can put these crucial scoring tiles out. There are these palaces that are pretty important here. These cost resources, so you can see you need gold and stone to put these out. But the values are going to be much higher. So like the 8s and the 5s and the 4s, these ones are like 14 or something. So you can really secure the area control here by trying to put these palaces out. And you can also trade in at this point the kind of gold, silver and bronze stars. You can see I've got a few of these here. You can trade those in for points when you build the palaces. Something else then that's very important in the game is the bonus tiles around the outside. Whenever you put a key on a 1, 2 or a 3, you get to advance your guy around the edge of the board. Now he starts off over here and he advances along here. These are full of bonus tiles. So you can see this is tiles here. So at the start of the game they're all full, and when you land on one, you basically take it and you can trade it in at any point for what it says. So this gives you stone, this gives you wood, this gives you money, this lets you buy another key, for example. They do lots of different things. As you get further round, they tend to give you scoring things. So this gives you 6 points for every key you have on a 5 building, one of the buildings that says 5. And you can see by the end of the game, a lot of these bonus tiles have gone kind of around the edge of the board. But interestingly, as you move around here, you can never go backwards. So you can jump ahead as far as you like. I might be like, oh yes, I'll take this tile. But then I can never get any of the ones that are further back. So some interesting decisions about how far you jump ahead when you get these bonus tiles. So early on in the game, you're often trying to get the bonus tiles, but then you're thinking about the area control and, oh look, he's put a key here, maybe I need a key here too. There's a bit more going on to it, but essentially that is the game. Once you've got through all the tiles, there's a kind of mechanism, these little flag things. Once you've moved all the keys as far as you can, you start taking the flags, which gives you, points or other bonus things. And then when they went out, it's the end of the game. What do we think?
Yeah, this is very good. Jonathan said it's medium weight, and that's fair. Maybe even as a teach on the lighter end of medium, because I think the biggest complexity in the teach is the bonus tiles, the symbology, working out what they do. The actual flow of the game is super smooth. It's pretty easy all the way through to know how to do your actions. The thinking on the actions is really hard, though. with the area control nature of it, which I really liked. Yeah, it's very much a very Yuri area control game that works very well. And there's even a little bit of bitchiness in places where you can put down scoring tiles to do the people, which I kind of like too. Though I can see people who want a pure Euro will not like that as much. I think my favourite part of this game, and I think it will work better at 3 than 4, and I'm not sure about 2, is the fact because you can't just jump straight in and take a building or whatever unless you have a specific bonus tile, you can kind of see it coming. If I've got a key down somewhere and nobody else has a key there, I know I don't have to move the key this turn. I can wait till next turn because they're going to have to put their key there before they're able to then start moving up this track. And I like that because it's not like, and then I've been done in. You can kind of see it coming, and so you kind of get a chance to plan for it. But you're ultimately trying to plan that in multiple districts at the same time, which is obviously the difficult part. And I suspect once you hit to 4, they'll get a little bit more chaotic because people are just doing more stuff going out of the board at the same time. So I think at a 3, it's really, really nice.
Okay. Steve?
It's good. This is a Kickstarter version, so some of the components you see won't be in the regular game, like the metal coins and the thicker tokens and stuff. But I think the 3D buildings will be. It's the light side of medium for me. I think I think you could explain this to a lot of people and they might take longer to play it and stuff. But yeah, it's good. It feels like 2 halves of a game. The first half where you're putting all the buildings out and getting ready, and then the second half when you go bang bang, build the palaces, score the points. And for an area control game, Jonathan won by quite a long way because he focused on the bonus tokens. He says, I hate area control. I'm just going to pick up bonus tokens, and he won by a long way because Mark and I were not over competing, but Mark and I were definitely competing for these things. We were definitely trying to get the scoring tiles that favoured us. And Jonathan was just left to his own. He was in 2 districts by himself, which didn't score him many points in the game, but he went round and picked up all, and moved around the edge very cheaply, and he wasn't competing with anyone. He picked up all these extra tokens and stuff, so he benefited a lot for it. Mark's quite right. I quite like the fact that it takes you a couple of turns to nick a building or to get the building, and the palaces as well. You can kind of see everything coming. With the exception that it's not something any of us did this game. You can actually place a key on the Arc de Triomphe itself, which doesn't get you any money, but from there your key can go anywhere. And so if you put a key on there, you put a lot of pressure on other people, and they might think, well, I can't do what I want to do. I need to make sure I guarantee this. And you kind of put them in forced situations. Like Mark says, Steve hasn't put a key there, I can wait, so on my next turn I'll put a key there. I'll put a key in where Mark is, knowing that it forces him to kind of show his hand as such. He has to make that action. It's nice. It's pretty good.
Rating?
7.5, I think.
Okay. Mark?
I'd give it somewhere between 8 and 8.5, depending on second play.
Okay. Yeah, I liked it. I think it's very good. As Steve says, I'm not a big fan of area control generally, and so I try to ignore it. But actually, although it's a part of the game, it's not the whole game by any means. As they say, I managed to win by pretty much ignoring it and just going for the bonus tiles. Now, at the end, I tried to sneak out a couple of the area control things, and I managed to grab a couple of places. But the bonus tiles are a really big deal. So you need to balance getting the bonus tiles with the area control. You can't really just do one or the other because, as Steve says, if people are competing with you for that thing, the other person is likely to win. But if everyone's balanced, it would be a very tight game, I think. So I think they've said everything there is to say about it, really. It's a very smooth, not too long. The turns go very quickly. As a package, I think it does a very good job. And what I'd sort of come to expect from Kramer and Kiesling, I think they've done very well with this one. I will be on 7.5 out of 10. All right, thanks for watching. That was Paris.